gentlemen, what's going on? I'm your host, Orlando Childs, also known as Buck the Black Hunter. I'm bridging minds, saving lives one backstrap at a time. Make it a great day or not, because this is Camp Talk. Yo, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Peak Refuel. They are all about enhancing the outdoor experience for everyone, and the only way they know how to do that is through good, healthy food. These guys make the most delicious freeze-dried food you ever put your mouth to. Oh my God, it's good, I promise you. Look, my favorite shit in the world right now is this motherfucking Chad Mendez recipes. Oh my God, the mashed potatoes, the bison masher. That's the one for me all day, baby. I love it. I love it all. Really, look, they also have a delicious breakfast style. You just add a little bit of water. You're good. Cold water for the breakfast, hot water for the dinners, and you're golden. Trust me, you're gonna feel like you got door dashed all the way up in the mountains when you're eating this stuff. It's so good, yo. This episode of the podcast is also brought to you by Campfire Evolution. I just made the next step of Campfire. I'm interviewing therapists. Yes, that's right. Buck the Black Hunter is interviewing therapists to work for him so he can work for you. I want to provide the ultimate outdoor therapy experience, and that's what I'm thriving towards. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to bring everybody into the outdoors. Everybody has a place in the outdoors, and I can truly say that it saved me. And I know if you're going through some shit, the outdoors can save you too, baby. No, I'm just having fun right now. But thank you guys so much for being a part of what I got going here at Campfire Evolution. I got a lot coming to you. I mean, you have no clue what I got. I got Colorado custom game calls. Yes, this episode is also brought to you by Colorado Custom Game Calls. If you call, they will come. And that's their motto. They got all kinds of calls, from predator to elk to goose, ducks, all kinds of game calls. If you're calling them, they're making them, and they make them custom for you. Custom for you. I promise you. These guys are legit. They just know what people like. They really do. They know what people like. They know how to make it. They know how to make it special for you, so you're not feeling like you get the same old call somebody else has. You can literally pass these calls on down to multiple family members, and it'll be your. No one's gonna have the same exact custom game call that you have, and that is a promise, because they are customized game calls. You dig it? Look, can you dig it? I'm Buck the Black Hunter. Thank you guys for being here and joining me on my podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace. This podcast was a fun one. Me and my boy Logan had a lot of fun. You can find Logan at killelk_forge. He is a wildlife conservationist, a mountain bow hunter, a welder, fabricator, and a knife maker. He's pretty dope. Check him out. Go to his Instagram, follow, subscribe, get some knives from him. He has these beautiful custom knives. And man, he's super passionate about what he does. Just check him out. Listen to this podcast. You hear the passion in his voice when he talks about, forging knives and stuff like that. And we kind of go into it. We lost a little bit here and there because we lost service a couple times, and we kind of go into some rabbit holes, but just stick through it. Listen to the podcast. We're just two guys having fun talking about life. Peace. Enjoy. Camp Talk.
You ever see a mountain lion over by you?
Yes. Not where I live, but I'm a forestry guy. I work in the mountains, and I measure a bunch of trees and shit when I had a job, when COVID wasn't a fucking thing.
Wow.
And I would see mountain lions all the time. But mountain lions, man, as long as you're not fucking with a teen mountain lion, like a mountain lion that just left his mom, you're good. The mountain lions that attack are the desperate ones that like don't have any, like they're just hungry. They're just like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck to do to find food. My mom is whooping my ass, telling me to go away because she's trying to get fucked by this new mountain lion guy that's walking around. My fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, my mom left me. Like, everyone's leaving me. I'm gonna go fuck up this little human right here because I don't know what else to do. So that's the case. Is the most mountain lions that I've seen weren't big mountain lions. They were just like dog-sized cats. And like the big mountain lions, you don't see them because they're well established. They have their own little area that they kind of roam around and they kind of stay there in that area. And they fight off other mountain lions that come in and they do their thing. And, you know, most of the attacks that happen to humans are by smaller mountain lions, from what I know, from what I've seen. Like the guy in Colorado who killed a mountain lion, who strangled it. He was like a teenage mountain lion. He's still a beast, still a fucking a thing to be fucking like proud of. Like, you strangled a mountain lion, but you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
He wasn't like those mountain lions you see on Mountain Men getting chased out of the hills by that one dude with the beard. You know, they're not like these big monster cats and toms that are roaming around and shit.
He probably would have got fucking murdered if it was a bigger cat than what it was.
Oh yeah. If it was a full grown tom, dude, a full grown tom.
Oh yeah, man.
Your face, you're done. You're done, dude. If a full grown,
I got one on trail camera last year in Idaho, and the thing was just ripped, man. It's just like rocks for muscles.
Those things fight black bears.
It was looking a little lean, honestly. Kind of skinny. I could kind of see its ribs, but just ripped. And I was like, wow, I'd like to get an arrow in it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. See, I would love to get an arrow in a mountain lion, but it would be like, how do you hunt mountain lions without dogs and training them? It's like,
I think it's a very low percentage, and it's like incidental. Like people like me that are legal, like have a tag and they're elk hunting, and boom, you just run into one. You know, I haven't killed one yet. I haven't seen one. I've seen tracks. I've seen signs. I've gotten them on trail cameras, but I haven't crossed paths with one yet.
I wouldn't mind going out with a dog group and chasing them up. I wouldn't mind paying a guide. I would feel bad if a dog got fucked up on my watch because of me trying to find a mountain lion. That I would feel bad for. But I wouldn't mind going out with some trained dogs to tree a mountain lion, and I wouldn't mind getting one that way. But there's something about the way you put it, like bumping into one or stalking one or kind of like bumping into one and then putting a stock on it and putting an arrow in it. That just sounds like the tits, dude. The fucking tits.
Yeah, that's I actually talked to an outfitter that runs dogs last year. Or I guess it was this year. It was like January I talked to him. And just to kind of pick his brain about what it was like and, you know, get an idea of what it cost. I would definitely try it. I hunted pigs in Florida. We spear hunted with dogs, and it was chaos, man. It was chaos. I think that's a little different because the dogs were just grabbing the pig. You know, there's no contact when you tree a cat or tree a bear. But it's like that you're going to shoot it out of the tree thing that gets me. I don't know how I would feel about that, honestly. I'd probably do it. You know, you put me in this situation. Hell yeah, I'm going to fucking shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you on the tree thing, but at the same time, I don't know any other way to actually hunt them. You know what I mean? Without dogs and training.
Right. Like I wouldn't go out and do it every season like I do elk or deer hunt. But I would do it maybe once or twice just to do it and to sample some meat. So, and it's nice because you can, if you still got the itch, You can kind of hunt them late winter, which is nice. So
like after all your hunts are done, you can go and still hunt fucking mountain lions.
Yeah, ride some snowmobiles, get your ass kicked running after dogs. It sounds like it's pretty. You got to be pretty good shape to keep up with those dogs and keep up with the cats.
They used to run dogs.
So
in
California. It's definitely on my list.
They used to run dogs.
Didn't
in
they take your season away?
They did. Oh, now they never had a mountain lion season in California. They had a bear season where you can run dogs for bears.
Oh, and they took that away.
They took that away. That was like, I don't know, maybe like 10, 12 years ago, maybe 13 years ago now. Sad day for hunting bears in California, because bears are smart, sly motherfuckers, man. Especially in California, you will never hear them coming. And well, bears are very loud when they know you're not around. They will stomp on trees and eat the grubs. They are just loud. But the moment they hear you, well, I'm speaking from experience in the mountains working forestry. I repeat this all the fucking time. I hope people don't get sick of it. But I was working in the mountains, and I like pull up on my 4-wheeler, and I slap music, bro. I have like my speaker. It's just me. There's no one around for like at least a couple miles. Like my other teammates are around somewhere, but we're very far from each other. Our radios barely even work. We have to like go to a high ridge to radio call our cruiser just to like check in every hour and a half. But so I'm roaming around playing music. And like when I'm playing music, it's so weird, man. If I'm hunting, I would never be playing music like this, but I probably should, because I run into the most wildlife while I'm playing music. It's so crazy. So I'm walking around. I bump a few deer. Did they jump off? I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, that was kind of scary, because they just like, I'm walking through like 6-foot brush. So when I open up and there's deer looking at me and they take off, it's kind of like, oh shit. So I keep walking. I'm walking. Then all of a sudden I hear a doom, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck was that? That wasn't a deer. And I'm looking around. I'm looking straight. Like my vision is, I'm looking eye level, right? I'm not thinking to look up. So I'm looking around. I don't see nothing. Then all of a sudden a branch falls. I look up. It's this bear. Then all of a sudden, it's like the small bear. Then all of a sudden, this mama bear stands up on her hinds, and I can see just the top of her shit. The cub runs down the tree, and they both take off without making a sound. In thick brush. I don't know how. Maybe they already had a trail figured out over there, but they were like silent. You can barely hear mom and cub run off, and it was kind of creepy that they can be that fucking silent if they wanted to. And they could have.
Yeah, man.
That bitch could have. I could have died. That bitch could have killed me.
Yeah, the bear that I shot in Canada a couple of years ago. I went spring bear hunting in Canada and Quebec, and I was sitting there eating a granola bar, and never even knew it was there. Never made a peep, man. Never made a peep.
You baiting with a granola bar? Oh, jeez. Nah.
No, there was a bait barrel. I was definitely hunting over bait. But yeah, it was an interesting. Like, wow, it was
that
same
quiet
reaction, like just blown away about, like, because it was some rough, thick country up in Quebec, and I was like, wow, something's definitely coming in through all this brush. Maybe I couldn't hear it over all the mosquitoes that were trying to eat me. Yeah, man, Canada in the spring was crazy.
Ew,
it was
crazy.
I've never seen anything like the bugs up there in the spring. It was wild. Dude, one of our guides was like, you guys bring your bug jackets? I'm like, bug jackets? And he just starts laughing at me. And he like zipped up this netted jacket that's like the hood that zips over your face.
Yep, I've seen him.
And all I had was a mosquito net, and I got eaten, man. They
Gosh.
it was an experience, but one of my favorite hunts up there. I had a really good time.
I want to go hunt some bears over bait. You know, you get to be a little bit more choosy when you do that. You get to be a little bit more selective rather than my experience in Montana. You see a bear, you check for cubs. If there's no cubs, you lay down and take a shot. That's what you do. But from the videos I've seen when they're hunting over bait, you get to like, oh, that's a nice bear. Let me look. Okay. Oh, okay, he's a nice white patch. You get to like observe him and just chill and just kind of like, you know, I think I'm gonna let this one pass. I'm just not feeling it. But if you do that in Montana, you're not gonna see another bear. So you better take a shot if it doesn't fucking have cubs. You put a hole in it. So that sounds. I got everything on my list. I want to hunt everything I legally can, and yeah, that's honestly one of my goals. Is to hunt each state. I want to get a buck in each state, and I want to try and get a bear tag when I get a buck tag in each of those states that allows bears to be taken. A grizzly is probably on the top with moose, but I don't know where I can get a grizzly tag except for Kodiak Island, and that's for you have to draw a tag for that, right?
I'm pretty unfamiliar. I got a buddy up there. I'm pretty sure you can hunt them. It's just like $30,000 or something like that. I know I can't afford. I can't afford. I would love to get a grizzly with a bow, but I think that's out of my price range.
Yeah.
But definitely all about like a DIY moose hunt up there. I've been looking into float trips where you get dropped off and you know, you get a raft and you float out of where they fly you into, and you have like 10 days or 12 days to hunt. Cause you can get bear tags pretty cheap, and moose tags, I think like $850 or $900 for a non-resident is what I was looking at, I think.
Really? Where?
It's just
in Canada?
In Alaska.
Really? That's it?
I'm pretty sure
for a moose tag?
I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking at for.
So it'll cost
non-resident
about $900 plus everything else. It might be like $3,000 for everything for a moose hunt.
Dude, I don't know the logistics of an Alaskan hunt of getting everything. That's what's so intimidating. Like, I just got married last year.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Yeah, I'm a very lucky man. My wife, she loves to hunt and shoot her bow, and she comes elk hunting with me every year, and
awesome.
Doesn't ever ask for a tag and just holds the camera, and sometimes she misses the shot, but like this past season. No, she's I don't know what she's doing. I think she's working on dinner in the house.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, this last season she burned up her battery taking pictures of squirrels and chipmunks and shit. And when the bull came in, the camera died, and she didn't want to move, changing the battery out, which I probably would have left her ass up on the mountain if she spooked that bull before I got an arrow in it. So she made the right move. She made the right move, but she got about 5 minutes of film of me just standing there, and as soon as I go to shoot the bull, the camera dies. So, yeah, she needs to work on that. But no, I'm a lucky guy.
Battery consumption, yeah,
absolutely, yeah. But since our wedding and the honeymoon fund and all that, we've been saving for a trip to go visit my buddy up in Alaska and either hunt some caribou or some moose and some black bear. We want to hunt something while we're up there.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
It's just so intimidating to be, like, how am I going to, freight my frozen meat back, or how much does this cost, or I don't know. I've heard some horror stories from people and other people that like do it every year, and they're like, oh, it's not a big thing. So that's something I'm working on.
You just got to meet the right people, I guess, man, and just make sure. From what I heard, man, someone said if you shoot a moose and you cool down the meat as soon as possible, the meat can be good without it being frozen for about 2 weeks if you keep it cool. I don't know how true this is, but he was like, man, if you kill a moose and you get to it within a couple hours and you debone it, you get those hindquarters off as soon as possible because those are the hottest ones. It'll stay cool for about 2 weeks. What he did was he shot a moose. He was camped near a lake. He wrapped him up in trash bags and he put him in the lake.
Wow.
And he called it good until the float plane came in, took it out of the lake, packed it up, flew back in, had it processed at the butcher, got it frozen, some dry ice, flew home. Dry ice will last about 10 days. Flew home, he was good. Dry ice might be your key. If you can get to a place that has
definitely.
it. Yeah.
Definitely. Sucks because I live in Ohio, so it'd be nice to just because I hear like freight trucks and you can meet them somewhere in the States, it's pretty affordable for meat purposes, and it's like a refrigerated truck, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's plenty of options. We got to figure it out. So my buddy up there just moved, so I'm letting him get settled in. Shout out to Michael.
Shout out,
I'm
Mike.
letting him get settled in, and hell yeah, he's good people, man. Loves to hunt and fish, and it's full of good information. So hopefully we can get up there and kill some caribou or some moose or some black bear or something. Alaska's definitely on my list.
Yes, mine too. We definitely. You got to get it done. I got to get it done. You got to make it happen. I do got some questions for you.
All right.
So walk me through the process of making a knife. Like, what do you need? What is the process of, what is your step-by-step process? Like, explain it to me like you were walking, like you were just getting ready to work on a knife, and you're going to talk out every single step as you do it.
All right. Well, my knives are pattern welded steel. So pattern welded steel is when I take just like some high carbon steel and then something with some nickel content in it, and I stack them up together, either alternating or whatever. So you have like ultimately a black and a shiny layer. Okay, so you alternate them, black, shiny, black, shiny, black, shiny. Or you can do like black, 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 shiny. I mean, your options are endless. You combine the two different kinds of steel, and you weld them together with like a stick welder or a wire feed, like a MIG welder. And I weld a piece of rebar on it, and I throw it in my forge. So I got my forge, and then I have a hydraulic press and a power hammer, and then me with an anvil. And I got a little belt grinder in there also. My shop's pretty simple. I can give you a tour, like a little video tour one of these days. So I let that thing roast in there for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and it gets up to forge welding temperature. So it's like a crazy, like a canary yellow color. And to keep it from oxidizing, you either use like a WD-40, so it burns up and takes up all the oxygen in between there, so it can't oxidize. It can form up a scale layer. So you give it a few whacks with the hammer, and then you go to the press, and all of those layers stick together. And you draw that out. Okay, so then you have what I call a billet. You got a billet, and it's however many layers you have in there. So normally I'm like 18 to 25 layers. So if you got 25 layers, okay, and I drew that out real long, I'm going to clean both sides of that, like grind all the scale off and all that shit. I'm going to cut and stack it. So if I got 25 layers in that billet. I've stacked it 4 times. That's 100 layers. So I repeat that first process. And then I have like a decent layer count to work with. And then I just draw out, which
what does it look like at this point? Like, what is it? Is it still just a block of
a cat turd?
A cat turd. Got it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like I try to keep them as neat as possible because imagine like, messing around with like Play-Doh, like frozen Play-Doh. Okay. Like if you started thumping on it, it's going to move, and you can get it to grow long. You can round it, anything you can do with like a really thick silly putty or Play-Doh, you can do with steel. It's just like with adult toys. So,
wink, wink.
Yeah. So you got all your alternated layers, and that gives you your contrast, and you can manipulate it. By rounding it over, does different stuff to the pattern, but ultimately when you grind and dip in an acid after it's polished, you get a contrast on your layers. So you see the nickel content, which is the shiny, and then you see the black, which is the high carbon layer. And that's patterned welded steel. So I have to go through all that. My steel comes in 2 by 48 inch lengths, 1/8 of an inch thick by 70 thousandths. And I cut them up and stack them up and weld them together, forge weld them together, and make knives out of it. So once I have a billet and I hack a piece off of that and put a pattern in it, I do most of it by hand. A little flattening on the power hammer or the press every now and then, but I'm in there with hand tools like files and sandpaper and hammers and all that shit. So it's fun to get to hand make stuff, and be free to be creative. And I don't know. I like knives. Knives are an important tool. They've been an important tool for like our whole history. You know what I mean?
Big time.
Since the natives were making rocks into knives, and I don't know, blades have just been super important. So I know you butcher your own deer and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're gutting, you're grilling, you're always using a knife. It's an important tool, and I don't know. My dad just passed away, so I inherited all of his tools that he's been collecting his whole life, and that I hold that stuff pretty near to me. You know what I mean? Like his hammers and his wrenches. So it's like getting a handmade knife. I actually just got a Campfire pack the other day, and like the fact that the waist belt and everything was custom to my length, I was like, hey, like hell yeah, this was made for me. It was a cool feeling. So when you get like a custom knife and that's made for you, and like, yeah, sure, there's others like it, but that one's one of a kind pattern. You're not going to get that exact pattern again. Like there's something about the shape. It's yours. It's, and it's made by like, I don't know, not just me, but your local knife maker or blacksmith. I think no matter where you're at, you're going to find somebody that's making knives or, poking around with some blacksmithing equipment. So it's just cool to get stuff made for you and to buy local and get something made to last, and be able to pass that down.
And to get something that lasts and to be able to pass it down. I had to give you an echo because that's important to me.
Dude, that is important, So, and it's just cool. And I don't know. I think definitely my knives that I produce myself, it's a huge chunk of my life. Hours and hours and hours. That's all I do. I mean, I work a regular job, so this is kind of just a side gig for me, but it's a little chunk of my life. So I'm a very proud person. Like when I love something, I want to learn it. I want to be the best that I can, whether it's shooting my bow or, knowing all the ins and outs of how to find mule deer in the high country, or, I'm just like eager to learn, man, always, and always trying to be better. And, I don't know. I forget where I was going with this.
No, man, I hear you. I'm with
no,
you.
it's just putting, so much effort into something and seeing like how excited people get when they get their custom knives and they love them. And, I think with the steel, that I use from New Jersey Steel Baron, Aldo, Bruno, he's got the best. He'll tell you that his 1095 gets so sharp. If you look at it too long, your eyes will bleed. I have yet to get one that sharp that my eyes bled, but it's the best knife steel on the planet, and he'll tell you that. So I'll put it up. I'll put my blade up against just about anybody.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, especially any store bought like cookie cutter. Who wants a cookie cutter blade, man? Get something made like that for you. Something special.
I feel the same way, bro. Because and this is a silly example, but when I see someone wearing the same shirt that I have or that I'm wearing is even worse, I feel like okay, I don't want to wear this anymore, kind of thing. So I don't like the fact that somebody else has the same thing that I have, but to get something custom made, bro, I think right there is the key, because no one else has it. No one else is gonna have, even if there's something very similar, no one else is gonna have the exact same knife that you have.
Absolutely, and getting to choose, like, I don't know, I see shit all the time that I'm like, man, like, I love that about that product, but I wish, it had this color or that color. Like, being able to be like, hey, I want a boning knife or a fillet knife or a kitchen knife, and I want like this color handle. Like, I mean, I guess it's pretty simple, like the color handle. I guess that's not like a huge selling point, but you can make it your own, I
disagree.
I have a bunch of stock for handle.
Yeah,
so I can
shit.
be like, shout out to Exotic Blanks. Yeah, the guy that I get it from, dude's exotic _ blanks on Instagram, and he's up in bumfuck New York, and he's just got a hell of a wood collection, and he's hooking people up left and right. So if you're in the market for some wood, look him up. He's awesome, and his shit's second to none, man. I love his stuff.
Dude, you sent me that. I didn't even know it was pink, dude. I thought it was like orange or some shit like that, but it was. He said it was pink and all kinds of crazy ass colors. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna pass anything down, it's gonna be that knife. Like, I couldn't tell it was pink. It looked like I don't even know. It was crazy ass. Looked like I was some shrooming colors, dude. Some mushroom colors.
Yeah, man. It's like color bomb is what I call it. That's dyed. So he'll take like some burl wood. A burl is like it looks like a big ass like genital wart on the side of a tree or some shit. You ever see those big ass lumps?
Yeah.
The bitch looks like she's pregnant or something. Like, you're just like, damn, like a big ass knot on the side of that thing. He takes things like that and he dries them out, and then he puts them in like some crazy pressure pot thing, and he like forces some dye into them, and he's like double dyeing and triple dyeing these pieces of wood, and then he cuts them open, and the wood grain took the dye differently. So that's why you get like the crazy swirls and like the wood grain with the eyes. I don't know. It's just stabilized wood is so much fun with the colors, and even some of the natural wood is just like mind blowing. So being able to pick that with like a custom pattern blade that's built to last a lifetime, you can't get better than that,
No, you can't, dude. No, you cannot. So, okay. So it's a cat turd, right? It's a cat turd and you're hammering it out. How do you decide? Do you already know what kind of blade you're going to make when you start hammering, or do you kind of just go as you want and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this to it? Like, do you just play it by ear, or do you already got a plan preset?
Well, like you and I talked, and you were like, I think a boning knife, I'm gonna like use that often. Something in the kitchen, something I can, work with, something that I just use all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of knew, okay, like I'm gonna need it this wide and this long, and I kind of go by weight with the steel. So when I'm gonna lop something off of that billet, that cat turd, I kind of just go by weight, and eyeball it and kind of look at it and be like, okay, well, if it's half that thickness, it's going to be twice as long. And if it's half as wide, because sometimes they're pretty wide, it'll be like a 2-inch by 2-inch by 3/8 of an inch or 7/16 inch thick billet. And I'll have to hammer it out into 100,000th of an inch. And I do most of that by hand. Like I said, I'll flatten stuff out with the power hammer or the press, but I really like swinging that hammer, man. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like fun, man. It does. Like I'm imagining I'm imagining forming something out of strength, and the strength comes from the hammer. I'm imagining like forming it by your power, and what you put into it is forming this object. It's like,
dude, yeah, and it's great, and it's
an
dude,
art,
it's satisfying.
Dude. Yeah, it's an art, dude.
It's satisfying because if you look around the shop, like there's soapstone drawings on the floor, or there's Sharpie drawings on the wall of like different profiles. So sometimes when I'm working a piece, and like you said, you kind of just like let it talk to you and kind of do what it wants to do. I've kind of like been inspired from some pieces, be like, oh, it'd be cool if I did something like this. So I'll take a pencil or a pen or a Sharpie and go sketch on the floor or the wall or the face of my anvil. And then I have something to aim for. And it's a challenge, like getting a shape with a hammer and a hot piece of steel is challenging. And, I'm addicted to challenging myself. I think that's what draws me to bow hunting so much. Getting to see country, man. Like I've always loved to wander. When I was a kid, man, like we lived on this 10.5 acres, and it was cut out of an arboretum. So it's like all trees and just wildlife and ponds and shit. And I used to just go. And I was young, man. We moved when I was like 9 or 10. So I was like 7, 8 years old, and I would be gone after dark, like a couple miles down the street. And my mom would be flipping out, dude. And I was never worried. You know what I mean? I knew where I was at. So I've always been like, I don't know, oblivious to, I shouldn't be out here past dark type, like, I don't know, just looking for adventure. And I used to just find the coolest little areas, and I've just always loved that. So between the challenge of getting within bow range and getting to see all these places, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, man. That is one of the reasons why, and it would be amazing. Get you a little bit on this.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same thing to me, like watching hunting videos before hunting season, like getting amped up, you know what I mean? Well, it's educational. You don't know what you're going to learn. Like a fight video, you could, like, I mean, there's a level of everywhere you go, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you see the same move in these fights, you know what I mean? But there's like a tell. You're like, damn, everybody that does this move does like this certain hip movement right before it. Exactly. You know what I mean? So if I see that, I know how to fucking counter. You know, just pounding it over and over and over and over again. Just fucking. That's why you shoot your fucking bow over and over and over again. To fucking. I don't know. That's why I love making mistakes. I try to analyze it and try. It's always getting better with me. Like exactly. I always am trying to get better. I'm always trying to learn, man. And I think people should just pull their fucking head out of their asses and start just, you don't have to love them enough, but just treat people how you would want to be treated and respect people's differences. That would be great. I think that would do a lot.
I think it would do a lot. If everyone could do that, I think we would get way further in this world.
Because, like, I'm not gay, you know, but I don't have a problem with gay people. Like, that's like, if you're going to be gay over there, that's cool. I don't care. You know what I mean? Exactly. But then you got people like, there's just too much hate, man. And even like in the old, like hunting community, dude, like rifle hunters hate bow hunters. And lately I've been seeing people, oh, dude, like, I see it all the time.
Oh, wow. That's
long range. You haven't seen any of that?
I mean, luckily, no. Luckily, I mean, dang, that sucks that people we're such a no. We can't afford to fight each other. We need to stick together. The hunting community needs to stick together.
Oh, dude, like if there's some like hardcore people and like, okay, and like that's a perfect example. Like, I would never try a 1,000-yard shot on an animal. And I guess if you think you can, then that's cool. But I don't really. It's not something that I'm into. But I don't care if somebody. There's people out there that, like, if you're a hardcore bow hunter and they hear you're making like 800 and 1,000-yard shots on elk and stuff, they will fucking rip your head off, man. Of course, like on social media, like through the keyboard,
internet.
So metaphorically, rip your like the keyboard cowboy type, like. Yeah, I love that meme, or like that thing with the UFC gloves on the keyboard.
I
love that shit. But no, dude, there's a lot of division. There is a lot of division out there just in the hunting community.
Well, like, that's really sad to hear, man.
Dude, it's terrible. People there's just too much hate. Like, even if the end goal is the same thing, like. If you want to shoot a mule deer buck with your rifle and I want to shoot it with the bow, the end result is still the same thing.
Meat in
the freezer. Yes. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm hunting for, ultimately. And I don't know. I just plan my hunt to check off boxes. Like, what do I want out of a hunt? I don't have to bivvy hunt. I don't have to go 8 miles in. Like, I can go find an elk 3/4 of a mile from the truck or a half mile from the truck if I want to. I can road hunt and be successful. That's how I shot that bull last year, was road hunting. But this year, like the first 5 or 6 days of my elk hunt, I'm going to go back country because of the romance. You know what I mean? Like, because I want to. So
I'm going to be really
I don't know.
Here. I would love to know how to shoot an animal from 1,000 yards away. Just because it's a good thing to know, like how to judge the wind, where you're at, and then where the animal, like all that. There's a bunch of science that goes into a bullet, and you have to calculate everything and make sure that everything is correct in order for the bullet to go where you want it to go. And all that stuff sounds appeasing to me. But I also love the thought of being 5 yards from an animal, being within the animal, breathing the same air as the animal. I'm also very into that. So I really that really sucks to hear that people are against each other who do either or, because really we should all be teaching each other how to do it all. Like, why not? Like, one day you might need to, what if your bow breaks? There's no bow shop anywhere to go. You don't know how to fix your bow, but you have a rifle and you have this steep ass terrain that you can't get to without freaking the animal away. Your family's hungry, but the animal's 1,000 yards away. What are you gonna do? That's knowledge I want to know how to use one day. So it sucks,
right?
You know, because shit, who knows what Corona 20 is gonna be like?
Dude, could. For real.
So shit, I want to know how to shoot from 1,000 yards away. I want to know how to shoot from 5 yards away. I want to know how to shoot something, how to spear something in the heart, just so I can. Like, just in case I don't have anything, but I have a tree and a stick and a knife, I can make something work.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Totally.
We should just all love each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, who cares? Who cares if, like, people are different, man? You just gotta move on. move on with it. You know, what are we going to do?
People are different.
I know that I don't set goals and work hard for them. That's why I work as hard as I do. I can't afford to hunt, and that's what my goal is, you know, is to hunt every year. So I have to work for it. And if people just set goals and then work for them, that would be good too, you know?
Yeah, that would be dope.
People are lazy as fuck. People are lazy, man.
People want immediate gratification. People are lazy. Well,
they do. They want it now,
you know?
And it's like sweating for something's pretty good, man. Like, I don't know. I'm so like, you should see me right now. I'm fucking disgusting, dude. It's been a long day for me up in the shop. And like I said, it was hot here, but like, you know what? I feel pretty damn good, you know, and I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and I'm going to fucking do it again. And, it's going to feel good tomorrow. I think there needs to be more of that. Like, dude, I see you out there flipping tires and like swinging kettlebells and shit. That's awesome, man. Doesn't that feel good?
It feels good, bro. I sleep better at night when I work out. I fuck better at night when I work out. It's true. I have men out there who, if you're suffering from any kind, and I'm gonna get real. Like, I'm gonna get real, you guys. You ready for this? I'm gonna get real. Look, if you have any kind of problems down there, right? You're having problems. Do a crazy ass workout. Just push your body to the max in the morning. Heal up. Wait for your old lady to get home. And just wait for the testosterone to pump through your coarse veins. Just wait. It's going to happen. There's some crazy ass science, dude, about working out, lifting weights, especially lower body, that just increases your sex drive, dude. And it's just fucking, it's true for me. It's true when I listen to Hillary and Ryan Lampers talk about sex drive and food and shit that you're putting in your body. And like, they're so right. When you work out, you produce these chemicals, this testosterone that goes through your body, and it makes everything just want to go. Like, it just does. And, you know, who
definitely
cares?
Relate to that for sure, man. For sure.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, it stimulates stuff, man. We weren't designed, like, we didn't like grow to be what we are by just being lazy fucks, you know?
Right.
Look at those nomadic people, man. Like the people that live like the old country, like nomad lifestyle. I don't know. It's like, I have this like a great respect for people that live rough ass lives. And I don't know. I think it's fun to just go hard all the time, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I want to get it in. I want to get it in while I can, you know? I don't want to just sit around or accept being like mediocre. You know what I mean? Or like just being content with where I'm at. Like, yeah, you know, everything's good. So I don't want to get any better, or I don't want to go any further, or it's not in me, you know?
No, it's not in me. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in everyone to be a go-getter, to be out there. Like, but if you notice you're having problems with anything, with mental health, especially if you're having problems with your own personal motivation, the outdoors, physical workouts, just that rough, like pushing yourself, can be the medicine for you, especially if you're talking about diabetes and shit like that. The outdoors is the medicine for you. Getting outside, working out, going on walks, hiking, pushing yourself. Hunting can cure diabetes. I'm a true believer in that. Hunting can cure fucking like chronic health issues. Hunting can cure mental health issues. I will put it up to any doctor. Any doctor. I had a concussion. Swear to God, I had a concussion, and they were trying to do all this like therapy and all this like other shit, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this gonna fix my brain? How is sitting there talking to you about the fucking car accident that I was in gonna fix my brain? Right? Nothing was working. I was having like I didn't remember shit. I got in a car accident on November 4th. My recent memory was in like March. Like, I went to Minnesota, and I barely remember my Minnesota trip. I went ice fishing with my boy Dale from Full Scale. Shout out to Dale from Full Scale Outdoors in Minnesota. I went ice fishing with him, and we hung out. He came down here, actually, too. He flew out here, and we went fishing in the bay, and I don't remember any of that shit. I got pictures. I hung out. I got pictures of us at the ice castle in Minnesota hanging out, but I don't remember any of that shit. My first memory was in fucking March. My memory was of me and me outdoors going on a hike. And I just kept doing that. And like, I feel much better now. Then I started having mushrooms and I chaga mushrooms and lion's mane mushrooms. I started incorporating that in my diet. And it was all shit from nature that was helping me heal. It wasn't fucking no doctor. There was no fucking medication that was helping me. There was none of that shit. And I was fat too. Fat and overweight. I was overweight. I'm still a little bit overweight, but I was way fatter than I am now. Way unhealthy. And the outdoors is...
Oh, you look pretty shredded to me, man.
Man, the outdoors is doing that. I wouldn't be motivated to do shit if I didn't have a fucking tough elk hunt coming up. I wouldn't be motivated to do... Well, why? Why would I do anything? What would I need to fucking be... What? For what? For what? For nothing. I wouldn't have shit. If I didn't discover the outdoors, I would never have joined forestry. I would have never became a technician for the mountains. Never. Without that, I wouldn't be working out. I wouldn't be hiking in the woods. I wouldn't be fucking my life would be completely different without hunting. And I really think that people, especially children under the spectrum of autism, I have a true belief that although with some circumstances it's very difficult to but to like make sure that the child's going to be safe, because if they go run into a river or they go running off somewhere, it's kind of dangerous. But in some circumstances, I do believe that people who are under the spectrum of autism, any layer of it, can benefit from the outdoors, can benefit from simply being outside without the noise of the city, or the noise of fucking like there's hella fireworks going on right now, and that drives me crazy. Like, I have PTSD straight up from these fireworks. Anytime I'm dead in my sleep and I hear fucking firework, I freak out. I wake up and I can't go to sleep. I cannot. It just doesn't work. My brain just freaks out. And it was because I witnessed some shit. Somebody got shot in the head right by me. And if you ever see somebody get shot in the head or something get shot in the head, their eye bulges out of their head, and his eye was looking at me. It was weird. It was like, boom, his eye just bulged out of his head. One side of his head is all bloody. The other side, his eye just bulging out of his shit. And like, it kind of sticks with me a little bit. It still does. It's been like, what, 12, 15 years since it happened, and it's still kind of rocking with me. But that shit, when I hear these fireworks, that fucking shit drives me off. When I came out here and shot my bow, I relaxed immediately. It was crazy. Like, just coming outside and breathing the fresh cold air and shooting my bow and relaxing outside. Yeah, a little marijuana helped too, but I was just chill, dude. It was just a chill, like, okay, I can go back inside and go back to sleep kind of thing. And I think that...
Oh yeah, man, it's that mind clearing, just in tune, man.
Just completely mind clearing, completely like it does. And I wish I lived somewhere more rural. I live in the city. I live in a fucking pretty crowded area, but I wish I lived somewhere like just bumfuck, dude. Just like I want to be able to take a shit in my backyard and not have a neighbor around me nowhere to see. Like, I have plans to make an outhouse overlooking my garden, because I want to go out and take a shit in the morning, and I want my garden to face west. Wait, I want my garden to face where the sun rises. East, I guess it would be. I want it to face east, so that when I wake up in the morning and take a shit, I can overlook the garden, see the sunrise over the mountains, and kind of just like hang out on my toilet and just watch the sun. And it's kind of like what I imagine would be like my perfect house. That's what it would be. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's a goal.
It's a goal. It's a goal. I'm planning on getting there one day. And hopefully, man, hopefully I can convince some people to not like, I don't know. My whole goal with campfire, man, and I'm random, but my whole goal with this campfire evolution thing, and somebody asked me, like, what are you trying to do with this? What I want to do is inspire, motivate, and bring people together. It's really that simple. I want to get people to understand that the outdoors is there for you. It's public land, that if you have a job or your mom has a job, you're an owner of this public land. You pay taxes. You are a citizen of America. You are an owner of these public lands. I want people to know that you can go out to these public lands and enjoy yourself. You don't have to hunt. You can go out there and go look for burns and go find mushrooms, go find morels all over the place. You can be a vegan and still like my page. You know what I mean? You can be like, I want people to just understand that there's opportunity in the outdoors that is more than just filling your freezer with meat or mushrooms or fish or whatever have you. Like, there's opportunities out in the outdoors to actually heal your brain, to not completely, but can really push you towards healing yourself. I mean, I've taken some psilocybin mushrooms that have really bring me to a place of like understanding what was going on. You know what I mean? I've been in some really shitty situations where I didn't really understand why I was here, or what, like, especially when my buddy got shot and he died. I was tripping out for a while. I mean, I wasn't sleeping. I was working super hard. I was working security at the time. I was just like, it was a crazy time for me. I was really stressed out. I was really unhealthy. And like, I remember one day I just broke down and started crying for some random reason. I'm at my buddy's house and we're smoking, and I just started crying. I couldn't, like, I was just angry. I had all these emotions in me. And then we just decided that day, like, look, we're going to take some mushrooms, man. We're going to hang out. We're going to watch some cartoons, and we're going to take some mushrooms. So that's what we did. We fucking, me and my three buddies, I was going through it. We went to my house, which was funny because my mom and dad were home. I lived with my parents at this time. And we went and took mushrooms in my room, and we fucking just watched Adult Swim, Cartoon Network all night long, and just talked and cried and laughed and talked some more. Then we went and got some IHOP, came back, ate, talked some more, laughed. I remember this night so vividly. We got so close. I can say that psilocybin got me over that depression. Got me really far from like the nightmares I was having. Like, I can see why it's now legal in California. I can definitely see the medical benefits of it in the right circumstances. And I'm a true believer, man, in psilocybin, man. I'm a true believer. It changes you each time I've done it 4 times total. And each time I've done it, it's always been like after something really hard. Like, the last time I did it was recently when I lost my job, and I was really struggling with like, oh, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm getting so close to this goal, and I was stressed out, and I was like, how am I gonna, like, what am I doing with my life? I just lost my job. Like, I need to find a job that I cannot never lose, which is kind of impossible. But I was kind of going through it where, what do I do from here? Like, forestry isn't hiring. The company that I was working with isn't on the project anymore, and the project just started again. So they're not going to rehire us because they're not on the project anymore. So I'm like kind of just struggling, like, oh my God, what do I do with my life? What do I do? So I went on a trip and I took some psilocybin with one of my buddies. And after that, all I can do is think about all the positive shit that I have. And I don't want to blame it on the drugs, but like, it definitely helped me like appreciate what I got already, and just like, you know what, this is life. This is like, it kind of put me in like a Buddha Zen, like You know, you have no control. All you can do is live your life the best way you can live it and be good to people and be good to others and just love and just love. And like, it just kind of put me in that hippie state where I was just like, you know what? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't have any control. Like, it's all love. Let's just love and see what happens. And I'm going to just apply myself how I can, do what I can do. And, you know, I have no control over this shit. So let's just ride this wave, man, and see where this wave takes me, kind of thing. And that's kind of like my mindset now. Like, I push hard towards things that I want, you know, because I'm shooting my bow like crazy, and I'm out here hunting, and I'm doing all this stuff. But I'm also sort of like, okay, well, I can't control everything. I can only control me and make and influence others. I can only try to be that influence for other people. I can only try to be that role model for my daughter. I can only just try to be the best me that I can be. And that's kind of what I'm doing, man. That's kind of what I'm doing.
That's it, man. That's life.
That's life. Well, you know, this is a good place to end it right here, man. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day, man, to talk to me, especially all the shit you got going. I'm pretty sure your old lady wants you to get into
Dude, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate you having me on.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure. You have a wonderful day. Don't hang up. I'm going to talk to you a little bit after this, but hope you have a wonderful day. Say goodbye to the folks and tell them where they can find you on Instagram.
Thanks for listening, guys. You can find me on Instagram at killelk_forge. And, yeah, hit me up. We'll talk some elk, talk bow hunting, talk knives, talk whatever. So, yeah, man.
Get yourself.
Awesome. Thanks again for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it was plenty of fun. You guys, get yourself a custom knife from this guy. This podcast was brought to you by Kill Elk Forge. Please get yourself a custom knife that you can pass down to your daughter, to your son, to whatever you have, whatever. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but whatever gender that they want to claim to be, you can have a knife to pass it down to that person, and that person can have a piece of you for the rest of their life and have something to pass down to their kids. Get one. Hit them up. Get yourself a custom knife. You won't regret it. Y'all have a good day. Peace.